So guys, today we're just going to go through our go-to squat warm-up routine. So we're going to start off by grabbing a trusty foam roller first. So we're just going to lay down on that. We'll start by releasing off the quads. So foam roller starts off underneath sort of the front of the hip, and then we're just going to roll up and down that thigh 3 to 5 times. So the role of the foam roller is we just want to start to increase blood flow, desensitizing the tissues so that when we start adding in movement, it's not too painful. So once we've done that, we roll down to the bottom of the knee, and then we're just going to bend the heel up towards the bum. So we'll do 5 sweeps at the bottom of the knee, then we slide up to the middle of that thigh, and we're going to do 5 at the middle of the thigh, and then slide up again, and we go 5 at the top of the thigh. So after we've done that, gotten a little bit of blood flow, we switch up, we'll go on to the other side. So again, just starting underneath the front of the thigh, rolling down through the whole leg from the hip down to the top of the knee, rolling down to the knee, adding in a little bit of knee bend or knee flexion. Good, middle of the thigh, another 5. And top of the thighs. Perfect. Then we're going to move into an abductor release. So the best explanation I've ever had of this is make love to your foam roller. So we're just going to place the the foam roller as close to the groin as we can get it, and then we're going to roll down just to the inside of that knee and coming back. So again, 3 to 5 sweeps, just loosening up that tissue, starting to get a bit of blood flow in there. Then once we've done that, start at the bottom of the knee. We're just going to bend and extend that knee again. So 5 sweeps at the bottom. And then we'll go through into the middle. And then moving right up as close to the groin as you can get. Good. Then we move into the other side. So again, getting in nice and close to that foam roller. We're just going to roll through the whole of those adductors or groin muscles. Then once we've gotten a little bit of blood flow, we extend that knee out. And middle. And inside of the thigh. Cool. Then from there, we go into our prayer stretch. So this is probably one of my favourite stretches. Can be a little bit aggressive on the knees. So if you get any knee pain, chuck a pillow or a blanket underneath there or a towel. So you can start off, first level is just going to be knees out just outside of the hips, hands on the foam roller. So you feel a nice little stretch through those lats and through the inside of the groin. Then if you want a bit more of an intense stretch, you can bring those hands up towards the back of the neck or the sort of the upper back, and then you'll start to feel it a little bit more through the triceps as well. So we're just going to hold this position for a minute. Try and breathe as you're in through here. If you're holding your breath, you're going red in the face. It means you're probably pushing it a little bit too hard and you just want to back off a little bit or maybe just regress that stretch. So again, if you get tightness at the front of the ankles or anything, you can modify it so that your toes tuck under and you're not putting so much stress at the front of that ankle. So then we move into the couch stretch, so we can pop our foam roller away. So this is one we usually see done pretty poorly in the clinic. People want to crank their leg up against the back of a wall. They end up using up all their ankle range of motion. They don't get the benefits. So we just want to start. The reason why they call it a couch stretch is because you're not sort of cranking on that ankle. So just start at a comfortable height. From there, we're going to tuck our bum out as if we're doing our ghetto booty, and then squeezing bum, trying to twist the pelvis so we're looking up towards the ceiling. Squeezing the bum, you should start to feel a nice sort of like burn or just like a nice little stretch through the front of the thigh. And again, just going to hold 1 minute each side. And we'll change it up. So pop down, bum tucks out, hips tuck under, feeling that stretch through the inside of the thigh. A good little cue as well, as soon as you start to feel like the front of that thigh eases off, you just want to squeeze your bum a little bit harder and that burn or that sort of stretch will come back in for you. So after we've done a minute of that, then we're going to jump in, we're going to start doing some of our activation drills. So this is a nice little one to start getting you ready for a deep squat. So we're just going to go through, it's called the toe touch progressions. So start off in our squat stance, so feet roughly hip width apart or wherever you find it's comfortable. We're just going to bend forward with those straight legs, then the bum drops down. If you're struggling to balance, you can hold on to the bottom of your feet to keep you nice and upright. Then we're just going to lift hands up, we're going to stand up. We're going to go through 10 of those, bending forwards, bum drops down, hands come up, standing up. And you should just feel, as you're bending forwards, you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the back of the hamstrings. As you get down into that deep squat, we're just training the body to be in a nice position and keeping our back nice and neutral. So we've got a couple more of those. And again, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to sort of come up with the hands up. You can just be sort of standing there. You can pounce back up. But if you can, I'd encourage you to get the hands out in front. It's going to work on a little bit more of that trunk stability and let you know sort of how hard you have to brace your trunk in order to keep that nice neutral spine. So now that we've opened up the hips, gotten a little blood flow into that squat pattern, we're going to go into our standing glute activation. So band goes around tops of the thighs. Try not to pull out too many hairs. Then from there, athletic stance, a slight bend through the hips. We're just going to drop the knee in, push the knee out, and we'll do 10 on that left-hand side. So when you're doing this, making sure that the big toe stays on the floor. We don't want to see it lifting up and going all over the shop all the time. We're just focusing on slow, controlled motions. So we'll do 10 on the other side. Then once we've done 10, we're going to go into crab walks. So this is my sort of like little advice. If you can do crab walks well, by all means go through and do them. If you can't, we'll just do a stationary activation drill that will still get you a good burn in the glutes, but it's going to be a bit more movement efficient. So we're going to stay nice and low. We're going to drive out with that lead leg. We're going to come back in. And as we're doing our crab walks, we want the pelvis to stay nice and level. If you find you're wiggling all over the shop, then you just want to dial it back a bit. We'll just do a standing leg and just leading out. So we'll still get that nice burn through our stance leg, but we're not going to be compensating with the other muscles at the front of the hip. So we'll go 10 out to the side, 10 out to the side. Then we're going to go in just to our deep squat with a band on. So pressure out on the band, coming down, coming up, and we're just going to do 10 through that position. 10, good. So if after that you've got a nice burn on, you can have a little bit of a break, but ideally we want to go through and we want to do a second round of that glute activation. So we'll come in, 10 out to the side. If you like, you can pop your hands on the back of the thighs. That'll just help to isolate that movement and really get an appreciation for what the glutes are doing in this position. Then you go into your crab walks and back and finishing with our deep squats. So if you find you're not really going that deep, by all means, grab a box. You don't have to go as deep. You only want to go as much as you feel comfortable. So you can just go through, sitting back onto the box, reaching back with those hamstrings and really getting a good burn through the glutes. After that, you should feel nice and warm and toasty and be ready to go in and do some squats.